What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today. We got two reviews to do tonight, you guys. We got the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, and we also got Candy and the Game. So, you guys, the first review up is going to be Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 14. This is episode number 1. The episode was titled The Edge of Fashion, you guys. So the ladies are back. We are back for season 14. I actually had missed the ladies a little bit, so I'm kind of happy that they're back. Normally, when it comes to Housewives of Atlanta, I always dread when the season comes back because I just feel like they don't be gone that long. And then during the filming process, it feels like we know all the storylines before the show comes on the air. This season, I feel like I don't know nothing that's going on. The only thing that we knew in the blogs was the fact that we got Sanya as a cast member, we got Marlo as a new peach holder, and we got the return of She Ain't Got It. That was it. But I do want to put this out here. This is a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, you guys. When it comes to Atlanta and Potomac, I don't know what it is with the fans, but damn, some of y'all take shit so seriously as if y'all are best friends with these women. Y'all go to lunch with these women. Y'all know these women like y'all are best friends with these women. Don't come in the comment section with any bullshit, because I'll cuss you out and I'll block you. But my people, most of y'all are cool anyways. So before we go ahead and jump into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on my channel and are not subscribed to my channel, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that big favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on the post notifications, sharing the video. And with that out the way, you guys, let's discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14, episode 1. I forgot what the name of the episode was. The Edge of Fashion. All right, let's get into it. All right, you guys. So, like I said, I've talked about who our cast is. We got returning cast members: Kenya, Candy, and Drew. So no more Porsha, no more Cynthia. We've upgraded Marlo from a friend of the Housewives. Marlo has literally been on this show for 10 damn seasons, and she's gotten her peach, right? So Marlo was a peach holder. We got newcomer Sanya Richards Ross, and we also have the return of She Ain't Got It, right? So the first person we're going to start up with is going to be Kenya Moore, right? So going into this season, I am going to give Kenya starts a new slate with me, right? Y'all know for years Kenya hasn't been my favorite person on this show, and with Porsha leaving, I was like, you know what? And Porsha wasn't the reason that I didn't care for Kenya. I just didn't care for Kenya just for her antics that she's had on the show, right? But with that dynamic of her and Porsha, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I don't have to talk about that shit. So Kenya gets a clean slate, right? So you guys remember Kenya was on Dancing with the Stars. So we see her with her partner, right? And she's talking about how she goes to LA and then he comes to Atlanta. So he's in Atlanta with her. So they're practicing their dance, and then they're joined by Candy and Marlo. Marlo came in there with that wig on, and the dress looked nice, but that wig, I was like, wow, this wig is atrocious. But hey, it is what it is, right? So they sit down and they're talking, right? And you guys remember at the end of you remember after the whole Bolo situation, Kenya and Marlo became cool with each other, right? I said last season that friendship wasn't going to last that long. I felt like it was a friendship of convenience, and I think I'm right. But we'll definitely get into it as we get deeper into the episode, right? So, Kenya is talking about, also Marlo, she got her edges done, right? I think she said she went to Drew's doctor, got her edges done. I guess Marlo got tired of the girls eating her up about them edges that were ate up. Maybe she's just in need. Shut up. Shut up. So Kenya is talking about, she and her partner, how they talk all the time, right? And it's nice, especially coming from where Kenya has come from with this whole situation with her with Mark. Are they divorced yet, you guys? Let me know in the comments, because I don't even know if Kenya and Mark are divorced at this point. But hey, it is what it is, right? So then they talk about this guy that Marlo was dating. Marlo said she didn't know how he made his money. Kenya says, well, we still don't know how you make your money either, Marlo. I was like, oh my God, here we go with that, right? We've been on this for years at this point about how Marlo makes her money, and it's tiring at this point, right? So then Marlo invites them to her. She's gonna have this showcase for her fashions, right? You know, she talked about the fact that she had been working with Tammy Roman, which I saw that when I was, if I scroll on, I scroll sometimes on Facebook, right, just to keep up with my family and my friends, and I saw that Tammy and Marlo were working. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. So then they were joined by She Ain't Got It. Now, I do want to point this out because somebody got upset with me on Instagram when I said that, when I called Sheree She Ain't Got It. And they were like, what does Sheree not have? Let's go down the list of things that Sheree has been on this show and she's talked about that. She's tried. Sheree has kept up with the Jones, tried to keep up with the Joneses. Chateau Sheree. It took her years to build that house, right? This damn She by Sheree, that shit just came to fruition. So it's take, and I'm not knocking the fact that it's, I don't care how many years it took her, but girl, Sheree has fronted like she's had it for years and she hadn't. So that's why I call her She Ain't Got It. And that's what she's gonna always remain, is She Ain't Got It. I don't give a damn if she got it now. She didn't have it at one point in time, right? So Sheree is talking about her and Tyrone. Tyrone is out of jail, but I think he was in New Jersey or something like that, right? She is abstinent from having sex with him. I'm like, oh. And you guys know Sheree is gonna go up there and try to see him, right? I'm like, girl, that's probably why he ghosted you and all that kind of stuff. Girl, you wasn't giving him none. And he said, fuck it, I'm done. So we find out that Kenya and Mark, at that point, they still weren't divorced, and like I said, I don't know if currently they're divorced or not. I don't really keep up with Kenya like that. She did talk about they did a family vacation. Honestly, when I was watching this first scene, I thought it felt like it was a setup scene to me. Quite a few of the scenes felt kind of set up to me, and I'll talk about that other scene that I thought was a setup, right? So they talk about sex, right? Candy says, well, me and Todd are not having sex. We get in the bed and we go to sleep. I'm pretty sure he wants to have sex, but we just go to sleep. I was like, wow, the queen of bedroom Candy ain't having sex with her husband. Okay. It ain't okay, whatever. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Let's talk about Sanya. Let's talk about the new girl, Sanya. So Sanya, she is married. She has a son. I don't know if they said how old her son was. She's married to her husband. His name is, I believe, she calls him Ross, but I think his name is Aaron Ross, right? I don't even know if she said how long she's been married. Child, if she did, I wasn't listening. Sorry, you guys. It's not that she wasn't interesting or anything. I just was, when you're trying to take notes for these shows, sometimes things get lost in the sauce, and that was one of them. So I know Sanya went to University of Texas in Austin. So we're kind of in the same family because I graduated from the University of, so we are kind of like, we're under the same, well, technically my school is under the same umbrella because my school is the University of Texas, but mine is a different branch. Mine is the University of Texas at Tyler. She went to the University of Texas at Austin. So we are basically, brother and sister in, alma maters, right? She and her husband, they met in the cafeteria at, UT, and they lived in Austin, but now she lives in Atlanta, right? Her parents live with her in Atlanta. The thing that threw me off was the fact that when they showed, when they first showed her house, I'm like, wait a minute, why does her counters look like that? She says she ain't got no countertops. I'm like, girl, why don't you have any countertops? I was thoroughly confused about her not having no countertops, right? So her parents are Jamaican. They spoke in patois. They put the subtitles on, but some of the stuff that they were saying, I could understand what they were saying. Because at one point, she and her husband were talking about having another child, right? And she asked her son, do you want a brother or sister? He said he want a dog. I was like, I think if you ask any kid that, because even when I was about that age, my mama asked me what did I want. I said I wanted a dog. I ain't want nothing else but a dog. A dog, a dog, a dog, right? Now, he wants a girl, right? So they talk about, and it was kind of interesting that they were having a conversation in front of her parents. I was like, ooh, we want to do this? We want to do this. Okay. So yeah, they had the conversation in front of her parents. So Sanya feels, is her name Sanya or Sonia? I believe it's Sanya. Because even Kenya was trying to get it. I think it's Sanya, like Tanya, but Sanya. We're gonna go with Sanya. I think it's Sanya. Y'all will correct me if I'm wrong. Hell, I know it. So when she had her son, she feels as if her husband had checked out, on her, right? So she's kind of little leery, little apprehensive about bringing another child into the picture, right? Okay, that's it for Sanya. Sanya, whatever. Again, we got 20. We probably got like at least 20 some more episodes to go. We'll get her name down pretty soon. So let's pause here and move on forward. All right, you guys. So although I did like Drew last season, I'm hella surprised that they brought Drew back for a second season, right? Because to be quite honest with you, as again, I did like Drew, right? But Drew didn't bring much last season. The only thing, because I was watching the reunion before the new season premiered, and I remember what it was with Drew last season when she brought up that profit lot situation, and I remember how annoyed I got with Drew last season. I was like, oh God, because Drew is like a dog with a bone. She's like a dog with a bone. It just, the dogs don't want to let go of it, right? Again, I like Drew, but that ending of last season with Drew, it wasn't it for me. The wig as a gag. I remember a lot of y'all were upset about Drew with that gag gift of that wig for Kenya. I didn't give a fuck about it. I didn't care, but what annoyed me with Drew last season was the profit lie situation. I do know that annoyed me, right? But it is what it is. Drew is back. This is the other scene where I said it felt like it was a setup. So you see Drew and Ralph, right? So Drew and Ralph are getting ready to go work out, right? So Drew is the one that introduced us to Sanya, which is really funny, right? Because I do know that, through some rumblings, I know that Richie Sky had talked about it as well as Kempire, and I believe Aaron from the House of Aaron talked about it. I know that, people talked about the fact that which we even see that in the trailer, that Drew and Sanya got into it, right? And it's so interesting. But we know how this reality TV stuff works, right? Porsha told us last season with what was that girl's name? Fallon, right? That they weren't really friends. That they were, you got to introduce them some way somehow. So it's gonna be interesting. But they met up, and I'm like, they're working out. But I looked at Drew. I'm like, you got a whole wig applied to your scalp, and your face is beat to go to the gym. Okay. And then when you saw Sanya, she had on some makeup too. I'm like, so y'all really go to the gym with that kind of much? I mean, I get it. You might wear some makeup to the gym, but not a full face. Not a full face. But okay. So Drew and Ralph, they are still working through this Tampa situation. I was like, oh my God. Not this again. Well, this time it's gotten worse. So Ralph is talking to Aaron, talking about he wrote a book. He's writing a book, right? He hired an assistant. Then we see Drew. She's talking to Sanya, and she's telling Sanya about the fact that through him writing this book, he got an assistant. Now the assistant was hella fucking inappropriate, right? She texted him talking about she was gonna give him a massage. I would have texted her back like, bitch, who you giving a massage to? Who? Who? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Disrespectful as fuck. Damn spectful. So, Drew is doing this weight loss thing. She's doing some meal prep. I'm not gonna be shady towards Drew because I was looking at Drew in her interview and in this scene, right? Now the producers were shady as fuck, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't like what the producers did, right? So we later see Drew, she's doing this meal prep. She has Candy and she has Sanya over to her house, right? Now Drew was talking about the fact that, she told last season at the reunion that she had to have a hysterectomy. I forgot about that until I watched the reunion tonight. So she said she had the hysterectomy, right? And in the process, she had them do a mommy makeover. Now, I do have a question about the mommy makeover. I really do have a question about the mommy makeover. Drew, you might want to see your doctor for medical malpractice. Because it doesn't. Granted, the producers, she was talking about she lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks or something like that, right? And the shady ass producers put up a before and after picture, right? But if you looked at that after picture, that doesn't look like what Drew looked like in that scene, because Drew's face in that after picture was a little bit, it was fuller than what it is now, right? That before picture is what she looked like currently. But I will say though, with that mommy makeover, I don't know what, again, I don't know what they did for your mommy makeover, because I know some women get, some boobs, some breast work done. Some women get, liposuction, tummy tucks, whatever they want to do, right? So I don't necessarily know what Drew did on her mommy makeover. But if she got something done to her stomach, your doctor didn't do anything, because granted, she is now the shady producers with that before and after picture, it makes it look like she gained weight, right? But I still think that before picture is literally really her after picture. But either way it go, it didn't look like they did much. It didn't look like they did much. Not being shady, Drew. Just saying, you should fire you should go and sue that doctor. So then they talk about, the assistant, Sanya brings it up. So they tell Candy, and, it was disrespectful. Disrespectful as fucking. Candy says, "What is her name?" I'm like, "You trying to make sure Ty don't get her?" All jokes. All jokes. Yeah. So then Ralph came over, and Ralph was talking about, I'm like, "Ralph, you are making the situation worse. Like, you're making the situation worse. And it seems like you're making light of the situation. And that ain't cool, my nigga. That ain't cool. That ain't cool." All right, you guys. So we're going to pause here and end the episode. All right, you guys. So the last person that we're going to talk about is our newest peach holder that's been on this show for 10 seasons, Marlo Hampton. Marlo Patrice Hampton. Marlo, the producers at Marlo, they know who you are. True, we know who she is. So we see Marlo. So Marlo is in her role as a Monty. And I had always wanted to see this side of Marlo, her with her nephews. We see her, she's waking them up, getting them ready for school. She's making breakfast for them. I'm like, I like this side of Marlo. I like seeing this side of Marlo, instead of seeing the labels, her talking about her fashions, her labels. I love that side of Marlo, but I wanted to see something else, because I was about to say something that's gonna come out. It's gonna come out shady. I'm gonna say it in the way it goes, but it's gonna come off shady. But it's not me being shady, because when she talks about, but I know she didn't have a storyline, and I know she hasn't had a peach, right? So she couldn't really tell her story. But talking about the fashions, it's just like a one-trick pony. And I'm not calling. I know it's not me saying that she's a trick. I'm just saying it's like a pony that only has one trick, right? It's just like a one-trick pony. That's all you got. So it's nice to see Marlo in this Monty role, right? So then we see the ladies, they show up to Marlo's event. Do I have anything to say about her event? Not necessarily. I was kind of confused. Why she had that big ass ballroom. That's what I think that's where my confusion came in. Why do we have this big ass ballroom for that? Because it's just mannequins sitting around, right? I was just confused why she had the big ass ballroom. That was my only thing. It's like, what was the purpose of this big ass ballroom? That was my only question. What was the purpose of the ballroom? So all the ladies show up. They all look nice, right? Before that, so Marlo sent them their invitations, right? Everyone had nice things to say about their invitations, with the exception of Kenya. Kenya was slightly shady, right? And I even tweeted this. I'm like, come on, Kenya. Now Marlo just got her peach, so them funds weren't completely there yet, right? But Marlo let us know, hey, she spent $40,000 on this event, right? and she expects for it, to at least bring her back $120,000, right? So cool. So like I said, all the ladies show up. Kenya, she looked really, really good. I did see Angela Simmons. Thank God they didn't give her a friend. Thank God they didn't give her no damn contract. I just cannot deal with Angela Simmons. Boring. So Marlo, she's there. Now, granted, she was late to her own event by 2 hours. I'm like, girl, you really on the CP time at this point, ain't you, huh? So, once again, like I said, Kenya was being shady, and I didn't understand why she was being so shady to Marlo. She was talking about the fact that Marlo spelled Le Archive wrong, right? And even Sanya chimed in saying, I took a little bit of French, and yeah, she did spell it wrong. It's supposed to be L apostrophe archive, right? So then, Candy was talking about the fact that there wasn't no food there. You know how Candy is about her food, right? They were talking about the fact that it's the mannequins with the clothes on it. What's the purpose in that? Why not have models walking around with the fashions on, right? And Marlo just said on Watch What Happens Off, because I was watching that just before I came on. She said she wanted it to be kind of like a museum. You go around and you look at the clothes, right? So what the thing is Marlo is going to be renting her fashions out. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess. Who are you renting them to? It is what it is, right? Okay. So yeah, at this point, Kenya was throwing shade about Like, here we go again talking about Marlo sleeping with wealthy men. If Marlo used her box to get what she needed, why do we care? Why are we judging her? Like, what the hell? It ain't that big of a deal. If she slept with wealthy men, so the fuck what? Are you mad that you didn't? Like, I'm just questioning that. Why do we keep talking about her sleeping with married? Oop, wrong choice of words. Why do we keep talking about her sleeping with wealthy men? Because I don't know that she's ever been with a married man. So strike that from the record. I didn't mean to say that. Why are we judging her if she slept with wealthy men? Child, who cares? Who cares? So, bone carrying ass Sheree. Actually, it really wasn't Sheree. I saw a lot of people saying Sheree is back up to her old job. It really wasn't Sheree. So, Sheree and Sanya went to talk to Marlo, right? And it was really Sanya who brought up the fact that the ladies were shading her, right? Marlo, granted, the only person who was really throwing some shade was really Kenya. Candy was just asking questions, and I think Drew was as well, right? Child, why they do that? Marlo went over there and she went off on Kenya, started cussing Kenya out. She went off on Drew, talking about Drew's her bun in the back of her head. I'm like, come on. But we all know Marlo is not a reader, right? We all know Marlo is not that of a reader. And I even tweeted this. I'm like, I wonder how long before Kenya and Marlo fall out. So someone, I knew there was a piece of hair in my mouth. So someone quote retweeted me saying they give it 2 episodes. How 3 episodes? I'm like, should I give it 2 episodes? Shit, it's the first damn episode. I'm like, oh, okay. We getting into it already. But that's the end of the first episode, you guys. It was a great episode. I honestly, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad episode, but it wasn't the best for me. But it wasn't a bad episode, right? But it wasn't anywhere near compared to season 13. It wasn't season 13, I'll say that much. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please get down in the comment section and leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.